Hello Oakville High School students. Today I have a quick little 1-point perspective assignment for you today. So we have been working on form. We spent last week pretty much the whole week on form and dealing with 1-point perspective. Today we're going to continue with 1-point perspective, but we're going to do some other forms. We focused on doing just boxes and rectangular forms. We did pyramids, and then we did a rod with the pencil and all that. But today I want to talk about how to create cylinders and cones. These are very important forms that you need to be able to create in if you're trying to create volume in a lot of artwork. So understanding how to create form using understanding how to create cylinders and cones are going to be very, very important. So to do this, I'm going to go ahead and set up my paper like we have before. I'm going to put my horizon line and my vanishing point right here in the middle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a cylindrical form right here on the bottom left part of my paper. Okay, now in order to do this, again, we're going to start with that rectangular form shape, and then we're going to convert it into different forms. So like last time we took a rectangular form and we turned it into a pyramid. This time we're going to take a rectangular form and turn it into a sphere. So we're going to start off by drawing our box here. I guess I should say we're going to start off by drawing our rectangle first, our shape, and then we're going to convert it into a form. And then we're going to set this up in perspective. You can check back at one of the first videos that I posted if you don't remember how to create a cube in 1-point perspective. Pretty simple. You create a square and then you connect the corners to the vanishing point. And we talked about that pro tip. We don't necessarily always have to draw all the way to the corner if we know that we're going to create a shorter shape. Alright, so now we have our rectangular form, but I said we were creating a cylinder. We want a cylinder. We don't want a rectangular form. So to create a rectangular form, what you do is you create a circle in both the bottom and the top of our a box. So if you can imagine, like the top of our box, we're going to draw an oval shape here. Okay. Now this oval is going to connect both sides, right? Or I'm sorry, the edge of the oval is going to touch the sides of the box. Now from there, what I do is I just create, I'm creating a cylinder, and I know that my cylinder is going to have straight walls, so I'm just going to create a couple parallel lines here for the sides of my cylinder. And then you have to kind of finish it off by doing a nice rounded line. This is going to round kind of down. It's going to start up a little bit higher in the corner, and then it's going to round down and touch this edge, and then it's going to touch this edge and then kind of curve back. So like this. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to erase all the lines that I don't need. Like that. Alright, you can see there we have our rectangular form. Now sometimes you can take these and you can turn them into other things, like if you want to create like a little drip here, maybe like this is a candle. Just do something like that. Now the other form that I said we were going to do was a cone, so I'm going to come over here to the other side and I'm going to create a cone. So the same thing, I'm going to start by doing a square. Okay, so do the same thing here. I'm going to define the edges of my cube, and then now I have my cube. I can go ahead and erase some of my lines here. Now I'm going to create my cone, and if you remember when we did our pyramid, what we did with our pyramid is we found the center point here, like we did a little cross, we did a little crisscross thing here, and you can use your ruler if you want, and then we found our center point. Now that's going to be the top of our cone. Okay, that's going to be the very top of our cone. Now with the pyramid, we took the top of this top point and we connected it to those corners. Well, we don't do that with a cone because the cone doesn't have corners on the bottom. It has an oval or a circle. So really for this one, you need to define this bottom edge. So I'm going to pretend like the bottom is flat, so that means I'm going to have to create the bottom. So I create my one line, go into the vanishing point, I create my parallel. If I want to define this back edge here, I can. That makes it easier to see and understand, I think. Okay, so now here's the bottom part of the box. So here I'm going to create the circle or the rounded part of my cone, and then from there you're going to connect the top point to the edge of that cone. See that? See, now I'm getting the cone shape or form like this. And again, you can come in and erase some of these lines just like this. Now what's neat about this is you can actually like stack forms. So let's just say for a second we created this cylinder form and then we stacked and put a cone on top of that. Well, we can make something that kind of looks like a grain silo, right? Or maybe like a pencil if we did like a real tall, skinny cylinder, and then we did a cone at the top of that. We can make it look like a pencil. So you can take these different forms and you can like stack them and build them and actually create real things in perspective. So for the rest of class, what I would like for you to do today is I would like for you to draw a few more forms. I would like for you to do at least one more cylinder form and one more cone form, and then maybe try to turn it into something. You know, maybe this you want to turn into, you know, a teepee for the Native Americans, and you can create some you know, decorations on the side of this. Maybe put a fire outside of the teepee. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. Have some fun. See you guys.